CBS Sports NFL draft expert Ryan Wilson and the five-time NFL Executive of the Year, Scott Pioli. It's meals on wheels right now, guys. The big guys getting out there, running the 40s, going through the workouts. Scott, I want to start right there. In terms of levels of importance, we don't need to see these big guys run the 40. We want to see those early splits. But when you're breaking down offensive line talent, what they could project to be at the NFL level, what are the data points that you're really dialing into?
Well, it's the overall movement, right? We do want to see them run the 40-yard dash, but we want to see them move. We want to see them change direction. When they change direction, when they do things, we want to see them drop their hips. How much can they bend in the hips? How can they bend in the ankles? Because those are the things that produce force, power, and the ability to plant and change direction. And this is not a straight line game. So to me, the other thing that we want to see is them doing reactive drills and their bodies moving and changing, not when they know where the cone is, but when they do drills to move reactively off of other movements. So those are the things that they want to see. But the truth is not that we want the time on the 40. We want to see their movement skills and their body position and their posture during a 40.
A little bit of fluidity goes a long way. Ryan, as you take stock of this class, Ike Ekwonu is a name we hear a lot at the top of the class. Evan Neal as well. Neal is not working out in Indianapolis, here on Friday. But as you take a look at the top half of this class, give us a couple of names that you have an eye on that are really making an impact.
Yeah, I'm going to start with Zion Johnson, and we saw him in the Senior Bowl, Scott, when we were there. He can play left tackle, which he had to do in a pinch last year in 2020. He played left guard this year and 2 years prior. And in those 3 seasons, he's allowed 3 sacks, and he is so incredibly sound. He's built low to the ground if he can be at 6'3" and 316 or so. But there's so much to like about his game, and he feels almost ready-made to start inside. And he took some snaps in the Senior Bowl at center as well, so that's also a possibility. So maybe he feels like a second-round guy, but we see this all the time. There are going to be teams at the bottom of the first round that need to upgrade their interior offensive line. If the Steelers are there at 20 and thought that he fits their needs and perhaps other positions are gone like quarterback, it would make a ton of sense for them to bolster the offensive line because they struggled so much with it with the way things unfolded last year. So Zion Johnson I loved before this week, and I continue to love him.
Yeah, me too. And I want to comment, before I give you my guy, Zion Johnson, we watched him down there, and one of the things we talked about, he came early to practice to snap. He stayed late at practice snap. He's played guard and tackle, but him being able to do that, what that is for teams is that's extra currency. The availability and the position flexibility to take up a number of roster spots, to save a roster spot for another position, carry another player, it's invaluable. But my guy is, I'm looking at Trevor Penning. And we saw him quite a bit at the Senior Bowl as well when we were down there together. From Northern Iowa, offensive lineman with good tools. But what everyone talks about and we saw in these drills was his finish. You know, when I talk about an offensive lineman and I call him a dirtbag, that is about as high a compliment as I can get. And he doesn't only make it happen once. If he gets a chance to screw a guy into the ground, he's absolutely going to do it. His physicality, his style of play, his mentality, you know, if you're a ball coach and you're trying to create a certain identity and a culture on the field, this is the guy that can help do it. Now, one of the things I will tap the brakes on, because of previous history, and it's an old scouting axiom, is big guys from small schools beware. And what it is they've been so dominant against the talent that they've gone. Now they're going to get into the game with grown men who they're going to be trying to take their lunch money away. It'll be interesting to see what happens when this big guy from a small school matches up with other big guys.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.